Hey everyone, welcome back. If you watched my last video on how to create variables in DAZ Trader, you already know how to set up some basic building blocks for your scripts. If you haven't checked out that video yet, I'll link it in the description. But today we're going to take it a step further and dive into something that's even more powerful, creating and interacting with objects within DAZ. So what exactly is an object? I like to think of an object like a backpack that you can use to store pieces of data in. Whenever you need that data, you just go and get it from your backpack. So just keeping with this backpack theme, imagine we create a JavaScript backpack, which is defined here. And we define things like, it's a black backpack, it's a medium size, and then give it some items, a laptop, notebook. And then we'll have some functions inside of it too, such as open and closing the backpack. So if I just run this and I do a console log on the backpack, you can see that when I open my backpack, it contains those attributes. And if I open the items inside the backpack, you'll see that I have the laptop, the notebook, and the water bottle. So the basic premise here is that an object is just a container that you can put pieces of data in that you can later have access to. So if we just jump over to DAZ, sticking with our backpack example, this is how you create an object within DAZ. So say new user object with your variable. So we're going to do a backpack, and the backpack color is black, and then we're just going to display the object. So when I run this, you can see that we do have the backpack that is now defined as a user object, and then displaying that object, calling the show object function, it will display all the properties within that object, which in this case we have color is equal to black. So another way that DAZ allows you to interact and use objects is by showing its own objects. And it has many of these different objects. So how you access this is by calling getWindowObject.showObject. And getWindowObject will get the object of the window that you currently have selected. So for instance, if you select the montage, it will display the montage object. So you probably already know that if you can access your montage bid using not an object, but you can also see it in object form. So all these are different properties that you have access to from the montage. You also have different functions. So these are commands. So if you wanted to click basically the buy button, you could set your information like, for instance, the share. So montage.share is equal to 100, montage.buy, and it would execute that order for you. The chart also has its own objects. So if you run that same hotkey, but clicking the chart instead of the montage, you'll see that it also has a bunch of different properties that you can have access to. So this is how you can get bar data. For instance, you can do trend line information, you can set alerts and things like that. So lots of different things that you can do within here. Here's a list of all those commands that you have access to. You can get, the current symbol and do lots of different things. And they have written documentation on sort of what these different commands do. But this is how you interact with these objects that DAZ has for you. So basically you can create your own objects that can store all sorts of different information that you want to, that's unique to your trading. And then DAZ provides their own objects to interact with different things within DAZ, such as the charts and your montage. I hope I was able to break down a somewhat complex topic into something that's a little bit easier to understand. If you have any questions about objects or suggestions for a topic you would like to see, feel free to drop them in the comments. And if you found this video helpful, like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.